You're listening to Whispers of War.
Hello everyone and welcome to Whispers of War, show number 19. I'm your host Sil, and it's been a week. I know it's been crazy with Christmas, the family stuff that's been going on, and I just didn't have the time last week, so I'm hopefully making up for it this week. It's just going to be me, just a solo show, so if you're here for interviews, well, thank you for downloading, but that's basically it. I don't have an interview for you. However, I am going to talk about a lot of World of Warcraft stuff and a little bit of other Blizzard things, I guess. But let's start with how was my, 2 weeks in Warcraft. So, actually it's been a really, really good week. I think this was the first year that I did not log in to open my presents underneath the Winter's Veil tree online in World of Warcraft. I've just been too busy on Christmas, unfortunately. So yeah, I just didn't feel like going online and doing any things. That's really rare because normally I did it I think I've done it every year. So no, not this year. I hope you guys got some nice presents. I don't even know if it's still there, if it's still available. I have not really looked in Orgrimmar or in Stormwind for that matter. Is it Stormwind? I think it's Ironforge. So I have no idea, but I haven't heard anyone say, oh my god, you really need to get this. So I'm a little bit behind with everything Warcraft for Winter's Veil, Warcraft podcasts as well, just because, I don't know how you guys do it, but the holidays are just incredibly busy for me. When it should be a time of relaxing, I just get to do so many things. But I did manage to play a little bit, or at least more than I have for a long time, except just not on Christmas or Boxing Day. So what have I been doing? Still on the Rogue, and I am doing my world quest still to upgrade my gear a little bit and to get the reputation that I still need and war resources. Just, everything helps, I guess, and they go quick enough. And while I was doing a world quest in Nazmir, that's it, that was the place, Nazmir, I saw this Tauren Death Knight, and they always immediately catch my eye because some Tauren Death Knights choose that incredibly beautiful white fur, and it just popped, especially in a place like Nazmir. And I thought, okay, well, if you're tagging mobs, I'm just going to help tagging with your mobs as well. It just goes twice as quick, really. And I must have done decent DPS or something, but I got the mobs down quick enough. And he actually whispered me out of the blue and just said, are you looking for a raiding guild? And I was like, well, I don't know. At the moment, I'm kind of in the middle of Christmas, and I'm not really a lot in game when it comes to raiding due to the holidays. And he said, no, that's fair enough. But if you're looking for guild re-raids, so and so, and I thought, all right, well, yeah, I'll write down your name, I'll put you on my friend list, and I'll let you know in January when we all go back to work. And he said he would contact me as well. So now I'm in a little bit of a conundrum because I think I want to raid with my Alliance guild that I'm in now because they are so nice. They actually send everyone Christmas presents online. I found a little package with a pet that they made. I think it's one of the enchanting pets. I'm not entirely sure. And yeah, they just send them to all the guilds, and I thought it was absolutely lovely. And there was a little note with it, and it was so adorable. And they're really nice people. So a part of me wants to go with them to raid, and I don't know if it will conflict, if I'm honest. So and I think the character that I want to raid with is probably going to be my druid, my boomkin druid, unless mage is going to be a lot better, because I do have a mage on the line side. So yeah, I might, it depends. They need range DPS, so I don't know yet. I need to figure out which one would be the best one when it comes to DPS, really. So yeah, but I don't know how normal people do this whole raiding and working long days. Because my job basically involves that I have to get up at like 5:45. And I know that's nothing for some of you. Some of you go up a lot earlier. But, you know, what do you do when you have to raid the night before? And it takes until like midnight. I mean, I'm the kind of person, I can't immediately go, okay, I'm done now, and I can fall asleep. You know, I have to wind down, and I don't know if I can do that anymore. If I can function as a normal adult with like 6 hours of sleep, I don't know, or 5, or even less. So if you guys have any tips about that, then please let me know, because yeah, I might need to figure that out, that whole work-life balance. But I thought, you know what, in the meantime, I am going to attempt to get better gear. I think eye level is now, what is it? Something 70? Minimum of that? I don't know. I have... I don't even know if eye levels are 300 or something. I'm really bad at the eye levels. I should really check this. I went having a very quick peek at my character. I now have 361, which is decent, I think. But I believe people have said to me over Twitter, you need to have 370 as a minimum. So I'm working on it. I'm working on it. I'm not quite sure where I can get better gear than that, but I guess it would be doing mythics, so I might have to work on getting into dungeons. I did go into LFR, and I've done everything. I've also stuck my my Warglaive into a Cahoon, so that's all done. I've done that whole Vol'jin questline now, but I know that I should be getting more. I don't know if it's been released yet, or if it's going to be released soon, but I thought there was going to be more about Vol'jin, but yeah, I've not seen anything. So if you guys have, then just let me know, and maybe I'm doing something wrong. Maybe I need to go somewhere. I don't know. Yeah, I couldn't find anything about that. So, meh. At least LFR's done, you know? I still don't like it. The whole Titan construct things in there are not for me. It's not my kind of lore. So I prefer probably the new raid that will come out. So I'm looking forward to that. And this guild wants to go there anyway, so I can skip all of this crap, really. But yeah, I'm looking forward to the new raid. Still need to do the new dungeons properly, and mythics, I guess. Something else that happened this week was that there was a lot of sales going on the Blizzard's website, and I saw that a lot of pets were like 50% off, so I grabbed myself a Captain Crackers, which I'm very happy with, because I love all the battle pets, but Captain Crackers I didn't want to buy for the whole full amount. One part I think is a different thing because it's a charity pet, and for me, I'm like, you know, if it's for charity, then I don't mind paying the whole shebang, but now for Captain Crackers, no. So I was happy I could pick him up for like £450 or something. That was really cheap, so I'm happy with that. Yeah, that's really it. I did see also that there is a going away bundle, so I'm going to presume that these mounts and these pets are going to be taken out of the Blizzard shop, and then you can't get them anymore. So if you still want them, I would really check that out, because you can get some really good deals now. So the only thing for me that was still available were the helmets, you know, the transmog helmets, and I don't know. The only thing that I'm mildly interested in is those the horns that are on fire. That's really it. But I wouldn't even know what I want to transmog it with, if I'm honest. I can see it being fun in RP or something, but no, it's not for me. So I'm not going to spend my money on that. I've spent enough money on the Blizzard shop, if I'm honest, because I've bought Warcraft Reforged, and I've bought the Hearthstone bundle for Rastakhan's Rumble. Okay, little bit not Warcraft related. I've played the heck out of Rastakhan's Rumble, the solo thing that you can do, and I really am enjoying it. I am really enjoying the cards and just seeing the artwork, and I suck at it so badly, but you know what? The more you practice, the better you get. So I am slowly and steady figuring out what works well with each other, and so I'm getting a tiny bit better. And someone said to me, you need to craft the whiz-bang card, which I did, and you know what, that actually makes it even more fun, because it's always a bit like, oh, what cards am I getting? And it's a bit of a surprise, but I really am enjoying that fact. I have not played rank. I still feel that I just need to play more in these solo adventures that Hearthstone offers. And yeah, I know, I just really like it. Just, I think because it ties a little bit into World of Warcraft, and I just love troll everything. So for me, this has been the perfect expansion. And I'm also really looking forward to Warcraft 3 Reforged, because I want to play that game so badly. Yeah, that's going to be a lot of fun for me. I really wanted to play the other games like Overwatch and Hearthstone, but I have, Heroes of the Storm, but I haven't really had that much time to play anything else. So I've really been focusing on World of Warcraft. And of course, you know, the Steam Winter Sale is on, so yeah, my wallet is crying a little bit with all of that, but that's for now. So let's go back to the Blizzard store. If you need to buy anything on discount, I would look at those pets now. I think they are going to get rid of the baby Moonkin. You might want to pick that one up because it's adorable. Something else, my Tortonum rep is now finally exalted, so that's all done. I just need to get Talanji's Expedition and Voldenai up to exalted, and I'm done for those reps. Now, something else with rep is my Blood Elf reputation. So with 8.1, you know, people said, oh, you can get, you know, your heritage armor for the dwarves and for blood elves, and I thought, yeah, I'll do that. And then it said, oh yeah, by the way, you need exalted for your blood elves reputation with Silvermoon. And I thought, I'm sure I have that. No, I don't. I'm only friendly. I don't know how I did this, and now I'm starting to wonder, did I actually boost this character? Because I can't remember if I boosted her or not. And there would be no point in getting the reputation on her. So I'm thinking of doing it with my paladin, because I know for a fact that I leveled her the old-fashioned way. She is revered with Silvermoon. She's almost exalted. So I just have to run a few old instances. And, you know, I can do it on her then. I'm going to presume that that heritage armor then also goes to my rogue? Or am I completely wrong with that? Is it just per character? Because that would freaking suck. I would not be happy with that. Because I really want my rogue to have that heritage armor. But I don't know. So yeah, that was shocking, really, for me. I don't even know where this rogue came from. I can't remember her leveling. But I don't know. Sometimes I even have like issues remembering what I had for breakfast. So who knows? So yeah, reputation. I'm just, like I said, you know, I'm doing my world quest. I'm doing whatever I can just to get it up. What else did I do? I got Baal. I finally, you know, I thought, okay, I'll just sit down and do the second part of Una. I don't even really know if this is part for needed to get Baal's health lower. But I just went around and just did all the sightseeing with Una, and now when I do /hug to her, she hugs me back, which is quite cute. So I went and got Baal, and I'm actually really disappointed with how easily I got him. I thought it was going to be really, really difficult, but having my raptor pet out, it just annihilated it, and I thought, okay, that was not that hard. So at least I got the pet. It's quite cute. I like the goat. So yeah, that wasn't a bad week. I've done a lot. I also jumped on my druid. She's actually 115 now, so I have 5 levels to go, and I'm enjoying it. I really, really am. Which is quite surprising, because I wasn't enjoying druid at all in the beginning. So I think, you know, sometimes a makeover can help. And I really like what she looks like now. And let's just jump into 8.1, you know, which was a bit of my topic for what I really wanted to do last week. So what I did or didn't do. And I really want to get the Night Warrior eyes for my druid. I think she will look really, really cool if I can get that. But, you know, she has to be 120 for that. So I am still working my way on, on the whole leveling. And I know I can do it quicker by doing an incursion. And it's only now that I've seen one incursion pop up. And I think it was yesterday that I saw that. And, now was it yesterday? No. It wasn't yesterday. I think I looked on my phone. I think I went to a website on my phone and saw that there was an incursion active. It's like the Legion timer that we used to have, but this one is for Battle for Azeroth. And I saw that one was there. I quickly went into game, checked where it was, and I thought, you know what, I can't be arsed. I need to do other stuff now. Because it was still Boxing Day and I just wanted to do other things. And in all fairness, we just watched Supernatural all day. So I think we binge watched like 20 episodes or something. As you might have guessed, my boyfriend has given me the Supernatural box set collection. And he's forced to watch it now with me. So that's what we've been doing. Yeah, I just didn't feel like doing an incursion at all. But I think I will, especially with the druid. I think it might be something I have to look into. But I also still want to complete the full storyline on her. Just to get a grasp of what's going on the Alliance side. Even though it's already been spoiled for me, I want to experience it myself. Other than that, I did do a Warfront in Darkshore. Actually, I did both, but I also did the one in Darkshore. And I liked it. I mean, for me, it was from the Horde perspective. And even though it makes me feel a little bit weird, it's killing night elves and everything and trashing Darkshore, I'm a little bit like, oh, I don't really agree with this, but okay, it's for the greater good, I guess. Yeah, I really enjoyed that Warfront. It's nice to get a bit of variety, so I'm hoping we're getting more in the future. Because it's a nice little thing to get gear. I mean, I got an upgrade, and it's something else, you know? It goes quick enough. Yeah, I enjoy something like that. I really, really do. I also think because they are quite different. I mean, the whole idea behind them is similar. But how to conquer these Warfronts is different. That makes it interesting enough to play them. Just because you're not doing the same kind of... I would almost compare it to Battlegrounds. It's like doing the same principle, you know, winning something against other players. And in this instance, it's winning against NPCs. But it's just a different skin. It's like with the dungeons. Everything that you do is the same, but it's just a little bit different. Different enough that you want to experience it. At least that's my feel for it. So I'm really happy with these different Warfronts, and I'm looking forward to seeing many, many more. Especially with the conflict going on. I mean, I can see them pitching so many different races against each other just to get an interesting Warfront. Something else that has been happening is the faster leveling. Now, in all fairness, I have not played a ton of time on my lobbies, but I have sorted them out. That's one of the things that I quite like now with the character screen, that you can actually move them around and order them in the way that you want to do. I don't think that was always possible. I can't remember when that changed, but I do remember that was not always a possibility, not in the beginning. And for someone with OCD or with plans, that actually really helps. So again, I've put my two main characters at the top, my rogue and my druid, then for Alliance. And I have two characters now that I want to focus on for the lobby leveling. One is going to be my Horde side Monk, which is a Nightborn, and I think she looks really cool. I've heard very good things about Monk, so I want to try it. I really want to give it a fair shot. Monk was never one of those classes that I enjoyed because maybe it was because it was very new back in the day, but I just couldn't figure it out. And even though I have a Monk on a different server which is like level 60 or 70, I just couldn't really get into it. And I mean, that's like we're talking about years ago now. So I just want to check it out with this Nightborn and see if it's any different now after so many patches and the class has been changed a little bit. So yeah, I think having her as level 30, and monks go quick anyway, but with this buff, I'm sure it will go even quicker. So that's on the Horde side. And on the Alliance side, I still have that Warlock Void Elf that's now in levels 40 something. And I did actually level a little bit on her. And even though these are not the level ranges that it will really impact, because what I've heard is between 60 and level 80, that's where it really impacts with the leveling, that you get a massive boost. I still managed yesterday, just by killing a rare, that I got like a shit ton of XP for that. And yeah, that surprised me a lot. So I know that part of that is rested XP and heirlooms, but it all counts, you know. So yeah, it's looking promising, and I do want to level up all my lobbies, which we'll talk about later with my New Year's goals. I know it's a bit early, but I want to already, you know, have a plan in place. So that's that for the leveling. I've heard positive stories, so I am going to try it out myself, and I'll give you a little bit of an update about how all of that is going and how my my resolutions for 2019 are taking shape. We shall see. Now, the other thing that I'm still on the fence about is the fact that you have to choose between Sylvanas and Saurfang. So this is not going to be a massive spoiler, but I have not done the quest line yet. I've been given it, that I need to find him now, or at least the Dark Ranger that you get sent with to Stormwind, to find Saurfang or to free him or whatever it is that you have to do. Now, this is going to sound really strange, because a few weeks, maybe months ago, I thought, oh, well, that choice is going to be easy, isn't it? It's going to be Saurfang, because why would I choose Sylvanas? I mean, I don't agree with what she did with Teldrassil, so why would I pick her? And then I got to thinking, because I can't remember who it was, but someone on Twitter, I think it was Riken, but I'm not entirely sure, said to me, when I asked, you know, who did you pick? And surprisingly, in that whole poll that I ran, more people picked Sylvanas, actually. And he actually said to me that Lor'themar Theron said when you get your heirloom gear for Blood Elves, and that's probably why I've missed it, said that he will never forget what Sylvanas did for the defense of the city when she was a high elf. So I'm a little bit like, I do think people side with her. I mean, she's done a lot in the past for her people, and maybe even now for the Horde that we might just not know about, but I don't really agree with the way that she's doing it. So this is the first time I'm really conflicted about this choice now, because I really thought, oh yeah, I'm just going to pick Saurfang and be done with it. And now I'm a little bit like, what would my Blood Elf do? Would she actually be like, you know what, I'm going to just stick by what I know at this point in time, and she is the war chief, and the Blood Elves will do what they have to do. I mean, I think somewhere Lor'themar said that Sylvanas better not raise any of his people. We will see if that doesn't happen. I'm not entirely sure if she wouldn't. But yeah, I can't see my Blood Elf also siding so quickly with like an orc, if that makes sense. I think she would feel closer to Sylvanas with what she does, even though she's ruthless. I mean, in all fairness, you know, I RP my Blood Elf to be quite ruthless in that sense. So I might actually go for Sylvanas in this instance. And the only reason why I'm saying that is because I also want to level my troll druid, and she will, of course, will go Saurfang, and so will my troll shaman. My trolls will always go Saurfang. So yeah, that's the only reason why, because I wouldn't want to miss out on both. But with the Balefire, I have a really conflicting, like, and I think that's good. I think we need to have quests that will make you think like, oh, well, what kind of consequence does this have for me? And when I used to play games like this all the time, I mean, I loved Until Dawn, and I loved what's the other one? All the Telltale games, you know, that have consequences with your the things that you choose, dialogue, and even into, I guess, in some regards, the Mass Effect games, just what sort of endings you get. I like those kind of games, and I like seeing this in World of Warcraft. But now I feel very like with those games, I feel very conflicted at times, and I really have to do a tiny bit of soul searching and thinking, okay, what would I do? What is the better choice? So yeah, it's not as black and white as I imagined it to be, if I'm honest. So I will keep you updated once I've finally chosen. At the moment, I'm just ignoring the quest for now until I figured it out. But it's looking like my Blood Elf is actually going to go for Pro Sylvanas. That's a new one. So yeah, that's it for 8.1. So far, I have to say, guys, I'm really not disappointed with 8.1. I'm okay with it. I do think it was a little bit overhyped. Does that make sense? So I felt like everyone's going to go, oh my god, 8.1 is going to be the savior patch of this expansion. I don't understand where that savior patch mentality comes from anyway, because I never thought that BFA was a bad expansion at all. I've been enjoying it. It does feel a little bit like, okay, there's a bit of a lull now. I have plenty of stuff to do, but it seems a bit quieter than normal. And then with 8.1, you know, there was stuff to do again. And people are now saying that 8.1 is a huge disappointment. And I don't know if it was overhyped by the community, by everyone in the media, you know, YouTubers, podcasters. I don't know. Me personally, I'm not that disappointed with it. But you guys had your opinions, because I asked, you know, what are you doing in 8.1? What are your opinions about it? So let's go to Twitter. And Spanky Hunter said, I am busy doing world PvP, all the islands, chasing achievements, and in general just having fun. The main thing I found in the last few years is when I play alone, I get bored. So I suggest get a play partner. WoW is best when you play with someone else. And I think that's actually really accurate, because when you play alone, it does become a little bit of a solo game, and it can get really boring, because why would you do all those things when you can't, you know, have fun with guildies or with friends online? It becomes a bit tedious. So I do agree that, yeah, it is always nice to have people around you. Now mind, I quite, sometimes I feel like it's best that I can just be doing stuff on my own, without having to spend extra time online when I just want to do something quickly. Because it can drag it out when you play with other people. I know that sounds awful saying that for an MMO, but for me it depends on my mood. Sometimes I just want to do something quickly, and other times, yeah, it's lovely to be around people and just have a chat with them. So Kristen said, I'm doing islands and invasions for the currency to buy pets, mounts and transmog. Also the new Warfront stuff. Between that and working on reputation and dungeons, I'm staying busy and having fun. I'm also leveling some alts. So much to do. So Kristen is busy enough, it seems. I didn't realize that you can do island invasions for the currency to buy mounts. Is that big albatross mount? Because I've seen that, and I should really focus on getting that. I want the toad, if I'm honest, but that's a lot of gold. Don't know if I want to pay that much for the mount, but we shall see. Exclavier said, I've enjoyed it so far. It's had its flaws like in any expansion, but it's still WoW. The aesthetics are beautiful, the storyline's engaging, and it's wonderful how you have to play both factions like no other expac before to truly appreciate its greatness. And that's one of the reasons why I'm also leveling my alliance now, because I do feel that it's important to see both sides of all the stories. And it's also why I want to see the dungeons, just to get a feel for more story. I'm sure I'll get over that fear of running in groups. And Wizard Life Studio said, was pretty disappointed. A quest popped up to do a boring face roll Warfront. I've had a hard time not falling asleep during Warfront, literally. I killed some rares, I picked flowers for an hour, and I can only make about 1.5 potions. I love WoW. Sigh. I'm sorry to hear that, Wizard Life Studio. So that's the other side, I guess. I mean, for other people it can be quite a dull expac then, or maybe even just a patch. So yeah, I guess we'll just have to see what happens in I guess 8.1.5. That's what we're waiting for now, and that won't happen until the new year probably. So we'll just see where it goes with 8.1. at the moment, I am still enjoying it. I can't see myself not playing it for a while, which is good because, you know, it would be very difficult to podcast. Now, I had a little list for Christmas, and I know that Christmas is already past, but I had compiled a WoW Christmas list for myself, with 10 things that I would like to have in game at some point, or just for my own personal gain. So I will give you that list now. Maybe there's something on it that you're like, you know what, we'll see if we can get that this year. So number 10 for me was the Fox Mount from the Nightborne. I'm sure that all you guys who listen to this already have that freaking mount, but I still don't have it. I want it. And I can't see any other way of doing it than doing that stupid daily by training the knights, Nightborne, whatever they are, and just hoping that the item will drop. So that's what I'm going to do. And I guess I'll just check my dailies in Legion on the mission board, and just hope that Torn Node will pop up at some point. I don't really want to micromanage with lots of alts. I know I could do it quicker. There's more of a chance if I do it that way, but I really don't want to. So, I'll just have to keep it at that. Staying with the mounts at number 9, I would like that, you know, Invincible would drop from Ice Cream Citadel. That's also asking for a lot, but who knows, you know, maybe by next Christmas I can say, yes, finally, I can scratch this off my Christmas list. It's all done and dusted. But yeah, that's one of the other mounts that I think is really beautiful, so I want to try and achieve that. Number 8, I want Blizzard to create more quests that have consequences in the game. Like, for instance, that choosing between Sylvanas or Sourfang, and that you see, oh, so-and-so won't forget this. Or just, even if it's just a slight difference in what sort of quests unlock. You know, we already had reputations that you sometimes unlock with some factions, that you get hated with the others, that you can't see certain quests anymore. I would like that. I would like something with consequence, or that, you know, NPCs look at you and don't trust you because of certain things. That's what I want to see. So, more quests like that. That would be cool. Number 7, I would like a new class. I really would like a new class. Even though I am one of those people who never plays the new classes, I would like to see something else in game, and I know that everyone has said it, and, you know, I think Taliesin and Evital did a video about the Tinker class, which I think their idea is really good. I also want Bard classes, if I'm really honest, because we need something that sings out there. Can you imagine, like, having an actual singing class that you can hear in game? How annoying would that be, but also how amazing would that be? That would be perfect, and especially for role-playing purposes, I think we need something like that. But yeah, I think a new class would be great. I know that it will be balancing hell for them, absolutely, like, horrific. I know that they have that every time, and it's probably easier for them to get new races. But yeah, I still think it would be really, really nice. Number 6. Can we have a discount on the race changes and the realm transfers, please? Or if you want to do 4, that you get a discount on that. It's so expensive, and they do so many sales, but never on things like that. I mean, it's fair enough that, you know, they don't want to do sales on the boosts, but I know that if Blizzard would do that, they would get a lot of money from people who would actually, you know, buy the boosts on a discount price, because that's so expensive. But those realm transfers and race changes, you get that once in a blue moon. I have not seen that in a very long time, and especially now that we are locked down with the amount of characters we can create on one server, and we get all these new allied races. It just, either you have to start deleting characters, or you have to buy race change as well. If we can, then I would like to have that discount, because it's so much money, you know, and unfortunately those are the things that I feel like, oh, I can't really do it unless I really want to make a character my main, and I want it to be a specific race, because otherwise I won't really want to play it. And the same goes for realm transfers. If we can transfer our characters, that would be better if it was for a discount, because I do hate it. I remember back in the day when people were looking for active guilds, and then they said, oh well, can I also have my alts in the guild? Yeah, sure. And then these people had like 5 or 6 alts that they had to transfer from one realm to the other. That's just too much. That's too much money. Like, that's how Blizzard got shit tons of my cash. I can tell you that. Number 5. So let's rate it in on the money a bit. But number 5, Rathian's return. I think it's time that bromance between Anduin and Rathian comes back into play, because we've not seen him now for a very long time. He was supposed to do something in Legion, I think, but he wasn't. So we need this guy back, just for the snark and for his sowing of discord between maybe Anduin and everything else that's going on. I'd like that. I'd like to see this guy back, because it feels a bit like, well, where the hell is he? He's probably exploring everything. But it would be nice if we got like little tidbits of like, oh, why are there sightings of a black dragon? You know, things like that. Yeah. So please bring Rathian back. I would like to see him back soon. Number 4 is something that I really hope that we'll get in the future, because other games already do it, and that's the option to dye armor. Because I know that Guild Wars 2 does it. You can dye your armor how you want it once you've unlocked the dye. I think Elder Scrolls does it as well, and I don't see why not. Why shouldn't we be able to, if you have an amazing piece of gear and you like the model but you just don't like the color because it doesn't go with anything, why shouldn't we have that option to get the dye for it? Because you can expand on so many things. Like, you could get a new profession, or you could put it under, I don't know, I guess it would fall under inscription maybe, and just have, or even maybe leatherworking or any of the other ones, that you can just dye your armor anyway. You can put the dye as quest rewards, and that they're unique. It would be good for trading on the market, on the auction house, I guess. If you can make specific dyes just by combining rare things. Yeah, I would like to create unique colors for my sets, and I'm sure that some people out there would love to have like really pink and purple outfits. Personally, I would like to make a lot of things like blue or grey blue, because that's my color. So yeah, I would prefer if Blizzard would let you customize your character a little bit more. And with that, I actually come to my number 3, which is, can we please have something like a tattoo parlor in the game? Because you can already see like demon hunters and night elves on their faces, and I think it's just, and the paint on the Tauren that joined us. Oh, I forgot their names. The High Mountains. You have all these amazing options to give a sort of like tattoo or a modification on these new characters. Why can't we do that with our other characters? Why can't we give them tattoos or other things just to customize them a little bit more? So yeah, a tattoo parlor would be my first thing. But maybe it's more about body modification. Why don't we have anything more in game to be able to do that? And that actually brings me to number 2, because number 2 is new hair options. So we already have hairdressers, but some of them are still really, really like lacking, I think, with options. There's not a lot that you can actually do with your hair. Yeah, some of the hairs from one race transfer to the other race, but that's really it. There's nothing like special that you can do with like hair colors. It's all standard. Why not make it something more specific that you can actually, okay, well, I want the tip ends pink and the rest black, something like that. Why can't we have more ways of modifying the hair that we want it to be? And the one thing that still really annoys me, and it doesn't do it with all the things, but at times when your character has long hair or a ponytail or something, and then you get this helm, And all of a sudden it just looks like all the hair gets shoved underneath the helmet, so you can see the nape of your neck. But where does your hair go? How does that work? That's what I just don't get. I'm sure that if I have long hair and I put a helmet on, I'll just leave my long hair flowing or something, or I would braid it, or I don't know. It just feels weird at times. Not all the helmets have this, but I tend to not wear helmets that will hide my complete hair if I don't want them to. So yeah, I don't understand. It feels a little bit backdated. Now I know that this is an older game already compared to all the others, but I am sure that they can do something that makes it a little bit more updated at times. Now my number one, and everyone has, I'm sure you already know what I want, really what I want in game. This is going to sound like a very cheap knockoff of the Spice Girl song, but what I really want is, as my number one, more free slots on one damn realm. I don't want to be limited to, I think it is 15, I don't know. I don't want a limit on my server. Just, okay, we have a limit of, I think it's 50 characters on all your servers spread out. Why can't we have more character slots on our main server? Why is that such an issue? Why does there have to be a limit on that anyway? I do not understand that. Am I just not seeing is there a reason behind that? And if someone out there who's clever and knows exactly why there is a block on this, then just let me know. But I at the moment I just can't see why we can't have more character slots on one server. And I know for some of you who are not into RP or creating alts or anything like that, you're like, oh, I have 2, that's enough. Yeah, that's great. But for someone like me who loves their alts, who loves RP and just trying out different combinations, I need them all. I need more. I need double of what I have now at least. So that is my number one Christmas wish list for Blizzard. So that's mine. And I think with that, we've come to some of the, New Year's resolutions, I guess. Because it's not long before 2018 is done and dusted. I hope you all had a good year. I would say overall I've had a good year. It might not end in the greatest way at the moment, but I'm just going to stay positive for what's going on, and at least I have World of Warcraft and you lovely people to keep me distracted. So I wanted to know what your 2019 New Year's resolutions were going to be for gaming or World of Warcraft, and but mostly the gaming world. And you guys have already responded, and Fabri said playing on my own machine again. Yep. that's a good resolution. I hope that will be very soon in your future. Ingy Doomdust said more mounts, but a big smiley. I'm completely with you. I would love more mounts as well, because I'm still stuck in at 199 of 200 mounts. So I need to find a mount that I can have on all my characters. I guess that would be that fox mount, wouldn't it? Spanky Hunter said, enjoy it more, keep having fun, not worry about story or where the devs are going, just enjoy the moment. Those are some very, very wise words, and I think if you live by that, you can happily play onwards in 2019 at least. Tarly said, only play Classic. Now that's interesting, because I never thought I was going to really bother with Classic, but I've been more and more curious about playing Classic. So I don't think I will just play Classic. I will play more, the current expansion, but it's definitely one that will keep me busy. Grant Naga said, I want to level my Forsaken Warlock in WoW Classic and start with the Epic Mount quest. That's something that will be very interesting. And I guess when you're, if you play a Paladin, you can also do that Epic Mount quest. So I definitely do that. I think, was it for Druids that you had like a special quest for one of your forms? you need to play the Druid quest lines for your forms if they are still in that part of Classic, because that was really, really cool when you didn't start out with all your forms. So make sure you try it at least. Jordan said, I wanted to start doing mythic progression. It kind of meets with my last year goal, which was to do more heroic progression. Hey, that seems like you're going like in an upward line, so that's really cool. You have to let me know how you get on with that. And Michael Hyde said, going to finish unlocking characters in Smash, I presume that's on the Switch, and finish Diablo 3 on Switch, so I can go back to leveling my Horde odds until Kingdom Hearts 3 comes out. Paradox of choice. Happy New Year's from @FoodandFury.show and Snacks Are Off. Thank you so much, Michael. And, you know, you guys really need to look at Food and Fury and Snacks Are Off. Just make sure that you follow them and listen to the podcast. It's really, 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 really good. At Bolfra said, unlock the Dark Iron and Cold Terrace. Yes, I'm with you on that. That will take a bit longer for me. But again, I need that extra slot just to create them. Or I will have to go to a different server just to create a few and play with them. Because I want to see what the intro is like for these races. And finally, Fasha said, find a guild. My guild kind of collapsed when a bunch of raiders left in November. Oh no. Well, December is a crap month for raiding anyway, so you need to let me know how you get on with finding a guild. And otherwise, Fasha, come and join mine on Argent Dawn, because they are lovely people. You will have to play Alliance, but yeah, why not? You're a good raider, so I'm sure they will be very lucky to have you. So those are your New Year's resolutions. I have a few of mine, which is a bit different than my Christmas wish list, because this is more like an actual things that I want to do. So next year, what I really want to focus on is I want to level all my toons on my main server to 120. That's going to take me a little while, because like I said, my entire server is full with my characters already, and they vary from level 30 to that's the lowest I have, I think, to I have two at no, I only have one at 120. So there you have it. That will keep me probably busy for most of the year. I am debating to start raiding with a guild again. So if I manage to not be an old lady and need to have lots of sleep, then I might actually start focusing on raiding again. Of course, that also ties in with, you know, getting raid ready. So I will have to have a minimum eye level of, I think, 360, 370. I have that necklace up to at least, what is it, level 20? No, sorry, level 30, I think it is. So I have some work to do. I also want to get back into real RP stories, so real plot lines and things like that. Because it's fun in games just to do the occasional RP here and there, but to be part of an RP guild that actually has a whole storyline that you have to follow, that would be really cool. That I haven't done that in ages, and I am part of one of those guilds now with one of my characters. So I think I might have to make a little bit of effort to join those events. Want to continue my mount farming, so I am with that with Ingi. Make sure that I just get all the mounts that I can get, because I've been really slacking. I also want to try the pet battle dungeons, because I've heard of them. I just never really bothered with them. And I do pet battles now and again, also for WorldQuest, and I actually really enjoy them. So I should maybe look into that. That's a whole different side of the game that I have not really tried out. You know, I buy my pets, and when I see one that I like, I'll collect it. But I've not really gotten into it like I do, like for instance with Pokemon. So maybe I should get into that. So if one of you out there is a pet battle master, then yeah, tell me where to begin and what to do, because that sounds like something I need to get into. I also want to get back into Battlegrounds. Not rated or anything like that. I just want to... There was a time when I used to... Before work in the mornings, I would do 1 or 2 Battlegrounds. And I really enjoyed that. And I think I want to get back into that. not quite sure which character. Probably my rogue, because rogues are assholes in battlegrounds, so I might as well just stick with that concept. I want to get the Golteras and the Dark Iron unlocked. Basically every allied race that is being thrown at us, I want to have unlocked, because I will feel empty and hollow inside if I will never be able to see that little character creation thing pop up. And the last one, this is not really like in-game World of Warcraft, but something I used to do, which I haven't done in like forever, and that is to be creative again. So I want to start getting back into drawing World of Warcraft art and to write short stories about my characters. There was a time, and I'm talking about 10 years ago now, that I used to do this a lot. And I used to draw a lot of art, actually. But then my Wacom died, and lots of stuff happened, and I just stopped with it all. And I just stumbled across some of my artwork and some of my short stories, and I read them and I thought, you know what, for someone who wasn't in England for such a long time, at that point in time, my English wasn't that half bad. I mean, it's probably a lot worse now, with all the mistakes I make at times, but yeah, I was actually, it's bad to say that you're impressed by your own work, but I was actually like, I don't completely suck. So yeah, I think I want to get back to that now. So I'm going to make that a little bit of a priority, because I also know that when I create something, I actually feel really happy, and I know that some people have that with other things, maybe when you read a lot of books. I definitely get it with reading books, or just when you write some maybe blog posts or anything that just get you being creative. It really helps me to become happier, and also to get more invested into what I'm doing at the moment. And in this case it would be gaming, of course, because it doesn't have to be just World of Warcraft. You can do it with all kinds of games. But I think that the games nowadays provide so much inspiration for writing and artwork, that why not get back into that, I think 2019 would be a great year to get back into it. So that's a little bit of my resolutions for next year. I hope that you shouldn't have to have goals, but maybe have a few in mind that you're like, yeah, you know what, this is what I want to go and focus on. Yeah, why not try and achieve it? That's something, I guess. And we will see what happens then. Anyhow, this was a whole solo show, and I don't think I did too bad by myself. I managed to talk for almost an hour, so that's something I managed to do. Hopefully by next week I will have a guest. If you want to be a guest, please contact me on Twitter. I will write a message soon anyway saying who wants to be interviewed. If you have a topic in mind that you would like to talk about, almost anything goes. As long as it's a bit like gaming and World of Warcraft related, that would help. Unfortunately, I'm not going to really talk about like Hearthstone, because it is a World of Warcraft podcast. But yeah, if you have anything to say about World of Warcraft, then please send me a message on Twitter and we'll work something out. But I would love to talk to some people now that I still have another week off, and we can pick some topics, yeah, and make this happen, because talking 15 minutes by myself is... it's a bit boring. I hope that you guys didn't find it too boring, and I will see you again next week. And if you want to contact me, you can do that on Twitter, of course, whispers_of_war. That's where you can find the podcast account, or you can email whispersofwarpodcast@gmail.com. And of course, you can find the rest of the shows on whispersofwar.podbean.com. And that's it. See you all next week. Bye-bye.